Some 40,000 tourists in Israel have been stranded after the country closed its airspace to all civilian traffic and grounded all flights indefinitely due to the ongoing conflict with Iran.
이란과 교전을 계속하고 있는 이스라엘이 민간 항로를 전면 봉쇄하고 모든 항공편의 운항을 무기한 중단시키면서 약 4만 명의 관광객이 현지에 고립된 상태인 것으로 전해졌습니다. 여기서 약 4만 명 할 때 영어로는 some 40,000 tourists.
Yeah, around 40,000 tourists, approximately 40,000 tourists, all
Or
of them
about.
work. Yes.
다 약이라는 뜻이 있죠. So tell us more.
Well, this all kicked off last Friday, where we had a preemptive strike by Israel on Iran's nuclear facilities. And we've seen, well, further disruption over the weekend and into the start of this week. And that means Israel has decided to cancel all flights until further notice.
Right.
And that means these tourists who were perhaps expecting disruptions because of the war in Gaza are now facing a difficult decision. Do they wait until the airports are reopened, until the flights are not grounded, or do they try and get out another way?
So their holiday plans have pretty much been upended.
Yeah, well, the other thing is you've got museums have been closed until further notice. Shops are shuttered. Certain tourist attractions are not available.
Exactly. You're not exactly going to be walking around doing touristy stuff when there are airstrikes going on.
Of course not. You're going to be heading to the nearest shelter if you need to.
Yeah.
The other thing is if you want to get out by land, then your option pretty much, or at least the easiest option, is to go to Jordan and then fly out of Amman airport. But that again has its own risks and it's also quite costly. So we'll see what happens. These tourists certainly, I don't think they were expecting their holiday to end up this way.
Well, it says that Israel closed its airspace to all civilian traffic.
Yes.
What does that mean?
Well, civilian meaning it's not government or military.
Right.
So we're talking about ordinary passenger planes, charter planes, or cargo planes that are not run by the Israeli government or the Israeli military.
네, 민간 이제 통행, 교통 이런 의미겠죠. 직역을 한다면은 civilian traffic, 즉 이제 민간 항공기는 전혀 지금 뭐 이륙하거나 착륙하거나 할 수 없다는 얘기가 되겠어요. Of course, military operations have been ongoing, as we know, in their airspace, but you won't have any civilian aircraft flying in the airspace, I think, for the time being. And flights have therefore been grounded.
Yeah, we hear this term a lot whenever there is very bad weather or a natural disaster of some kind or war. Because if flights are grounded, it means planes are not allowed to take off. They must stay on the ground. Hence, they are grounded.
이륙 못하게 하는 거를 be grounded라고 얘기하죠. 우리가 이제 비행기에 관해서 얘기할 때는 그렇게 이해를 하면 되고요. 학생, 뭐 아이들한테 you're grounded 그러면은 무슨 뜻일까요?
Well, it means you're not allowed to go out. You have to stay at home.
그죠. 외출 금지입니다. 외국에서는 부모님들이 많이 내리는 벌 중에 하나거든요. 그래서 이제 뭐 외출 금지 어떤 때는 뭐 방에서 못 나오게 할 수도 있고요. 뭐 몇 시간 동안 아니면은 이제 집에서 못 나가는 거죠.
네.
친구도 못 만나고 뭐 이런 식으로. 근데 요즘은 사실 어차피 밖에 많이 안 나가긴 해요. 왜냐면 다 인터넷으로 친구들 만나고 이러니까.
Well, you could be grounded online.
맞아요. 그럴 것 같아요. 요즘에 grounded라고 하면 아마 인터넷 사용 금지 이렇게 시킬 것 같아요.
Yeah, there's also another meaning. If I say I'm feeling grounded, it means I don't have my head in the clouds. I'm feeling very centered. I'm feeling very safe and secure.
Okay.
In terms of mental health, this is a word that's used sometimes to mean I'm feeling good. I'm feeling like I know what's going on and what's happening with me.
그러니까 그때 grounded는 굉장히 좋은 뜻이네요.
네.
I'm feeling grounded는 그러니까 뭐 구름 위에 머리가 이게 붕 떠 있는 느낌이 아니라 땅에 이게 탁 착지해서 정말 그냥 좀 현실감 있게 그렇게 생활도 하고 사고도 하고 그러는 느낌 I'm very grounded라고 하는데 특히 우리 연예인에 관해서 that person's very down to earth or very grounded
Yeah, you seem
이러면은
very grounded too.
굉장히 칭찬이에요. 왜냐하면 보통 뭐 저는 연예인은 아니지만
진짜요?
슈퍼스타 같은 경우에는 보통 사람들이랑 많이 다르다고 우리가 생각을 하는데 그 중에도 보면 그냥 보통 사람처럼 마트에 가서 장도 보고 그 다음에 옆집 사람이랑 인사도 하고 이런 you know they're very down to earth 이렇게 표현하죠. 오케이, 자 다시 한번 읽어보겠습니다. Some 40,000 tourists in Israel have been stranded after the country closed its airspace to all civilian traffic and grounded all flights indefinitely due to the ongoing conflict with Iran.